Hello! If you're here, it's likely you went into Google and you typed something like, I don't want to be a landlord anymore. Okay? If you like the idea of monthly income coming in from rental checks, but you don't want to be a landlord anymore, there is a way for you to accomplish both. It is possible for you to completely sell your rental property and continue to earn monthly money from it every month. Okay? Owning rental properties and earning that monthly rental income can really be a game changer for you and your family's wealth. I'm a big proponent of passive income and ownership of rental properties. Okay, the long-term benefits of owning income-generating properties and real estate can span generations. Okay, so it's good, but the short-term headaches can also be a complete and total nightmare. Okay, being a landlord is not for everyone. Right? What's the primary reason you don't want to be a landlord anymore if you're going to get money in the long run? And it is stress. Right? When you are a landlord, you have the legal responsibility to your tenants. Okay? And that is stressful. When the proverbial toilet backs up, or the roof leaks, or the rodents gnaw their way in, you must do something about it, and immediately. Okay, in your own home, if maybe there's a leak somewhere in like the in the laundry room, maybe you put a bucket there for a little bit and you wait till next month when the money comes in. You can't do that with tenants. Okay, if you don't have a large enough emergency fund stashed away, you could be on the hook for some very expensive repairs. Right, my first rental property, we got into rentals a number of years ago, and I said I'm going to do it. I watched all the videos. I've learned since then. Okay, but my first rental property was a nightmare like this. Virtually every single month, my property manager would call or email with another problem. It was a duplex. We replaced both stoves. I patched the roof 3 times. We fixed the deck. I replaced a bunch of windows. Okay, and there were problems every single month. All right, every time it rained or if there were high winds, like I would lay in bed at night, like I like waiting for the phone call to come in, like, something else, finally a tree fell and took out the power lines and ripped off the electric and hit the neighbor's house, so I'm getting a call at work, I'm like dealing with all this okay, I had to sell it. I had to get rid of it. So I understand where you're coming from. If you were in the mindset like I just can't do this anymore, okay, you can get rid of it. Okay, but what do? You like that monthly income. Yes, I like the idea of passive income, but not at the expense of my mental health. So what are the risks of being a landlord that we're talking about? I went over a little bit, but the risks of being a landlord are really not many. There's not a whole lot of risks for being a landlord, but those risks are big and can be financially devastating. All right. One of the main risks of being a landlord is having your tenants fail to pay the rent. Okay. And if you listen to all the rhetoric now of our government, millionaires and billionaires are taking over the world. No, and evil landlords. No, you know what evil landlords are? Landlords are me and you. 90% of landlords are just mom and pops, or individuals who took some of their money, instead of putting it in the 401k lottery. Okay, they put it in some real estate. Or you inherited property, right? Grandma and grandpa died and they left you their house, in Pennsylvania. Like, what do you do with it? I don't know. Put a tenant in it. And you become a landlord. We're not these wealthy people living on yachts. No, I cut coupons and I go to BJ's and I clip the coupons, to save a few dollars on Tide. That's what we are. That's what you are. Okay? So when the tenant fails to pay rent, now what? Okay, even if you own even if you own it outright, you don't have a mortgage. You still owe property taxes. You still owe insurance. Okay, that can be hundreds of dollars a month. When your tenants fall behind on the rent, you have to come out of pocket for those items, right? The government's saying, I want my tax money. All right, you better have the insurance, because when the tree falls, and then you're really SOL. You got to pay all these things. If you have a mortgage, now you got to pay the mortgage. Okay, so one of the biggest problems you have is tenants failing to pay rent. All right, and if you're in a really bad place, like certain states, like New York or California, where tenants have so many rights, you got to balance it somewhere. But you could literally live rent free in New York for 9, 10, 12 months. If you don't pay the rent, it takes that long to kick somebody out. Well, in that period of time, you can go broke. Okay, if you have a large mortgage, or you need to make major repairs, all right, and your tenants are not paying, you still got to pay the mortgage and you still got to make the repairs. All right. So your tenant who hasn't paid rent in 6 months can go to court and sue you to fix like the broken stove. Okay, these are your risks of being a landlord. There's not many, but they can be big. And if you got a job, you've got other things going on, and you're maybe like financially on you don't have a ton of extra money. This could be a real stress maker. Okay, but let's talk about how can you sell your rental property and still make monthly money from it. Okay, why don't you ask yourself this question: when the bank lends money in a mortgage, to buy a property, whether it's a house or an income property or whatever, are they responsible for the property? Is Chase Bank worrying about the property? Is Nationwide Mortgage Banker worrying about the property? No, they're not. Okay. Does the bank make monthly income from the property even though they don't own it? Is Chase making a lot of money from that mortgage? Yes. Nationwide Mortgage? Yes. ABC Bank, are they making money? Yes. The resounding yes. And they're not responsible for the property. So why don't you become the bank? Okay, the bank gets paid their monthly income regardless of vacancy or non-paying tenants or repairs. Doesn't matter, right? Wouldn't you like to be in a situation like that? Well, you can. There are ways that you can fully sell your property so that you are not responsible for taxes, for water, for sewer, for maintenance, for anything, but still receive monthly income from it for 3, 5, 10, 30 years or more, right? All right, such an arrangement is commonly referred to as seller financing or owner financing. Okay, seller financing and owner financing are extremely common in the commercial real estate world. I've talked about this before. Your $5 and $10 million projects, your $30 million projects. Most of the time, no one's writing a check for $5, $10, or $30 million. Okay, the note's being held by the seller while work is being done, and then they'll refinance out and all that later. But the purchase is usually being done with all or part seller or owner financing, and that works awesome in the residential real estate world, especially in the rental world. Okay, as a seller, if you're holding the note, you become the bank. It's owner financing. You are fully secured on title, just as the bank is. This isn't like some handshake where now you're really kind of worried. No. You go to a closing, an attorney, especially when we do things, an attorney draws up the contract. You get a note. It gets attached to the title. So you are first lien on the title. No one can sell the property. No one can do anything without paying you off first. You have the same rights and responsibilities as Chase Bank, Apple Bank, Nationwide Mortgage, ABC Credit Union, whoever is doing a mortgage. You're in the exact same boat. You're just a little smaller. They've got $5 billion out. You have $200,000 out, right? That's all it comes down to. All right. So what are the benefits of selling a property on owner financing? I just kind of discussed a little bit. What are the benefits? Right. The benefits of selling on owner financing are as follows. All right. You, the buyer and the seller, right? The seller and the buyer, you can agree to whatever terms make sense. When you borrow money from a financial institution, there are regulations they have to follow, whether internal or governmental. When it's just you and somebody else, you agree to whatever you want. Payments whenever you want, interest at whatever you want, the term whatever you want, whatever works for both of you. Win-win or no deal, right? And that really works out well. Right, with owner financing, you as the seller, you don't only receive the sales price of your property, but you earn extra income in the form of interest, right? So let's just say you sell your home for $100,000 on owner financing, and you hold a note for $100,000. When all is said and done in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, whenever you decide the term of your note, you will have received your $100,000 for the house plus interest. It could be $10,000 or $15,000 more that you've received. All right, so you get to earn even more money from the sale of your home. Okay, with owner financing, capital gains taxes and depreciation recapture taxes. We've talked about them before, right? So, if you need to learn about that, look me up on YouTube, or I'll have a link to this below on depreciation recapture taxes are, okay? But you can take those capital gains and depreciation recapture taxes, which would normally be due on the sale of the home, and spread them out over many years because you didn't fully sell the house, or you didn't receive all the proceeds from the sale of the house right yet. You spread it over 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, okay? Let's say you take a 30-year note. you're not going to pay all those taxes for years. You're still going to pay them, but maybe you'll be in a different tax bracket at another time. Who knows what the laws will be, but the basic gist is you get to make more money and spread those taxes out over time. All right. When you're selling on owner financing, there's no more responsibility for tenants. There's no worry about repairs, no worry about maintenance, no worry about vacancy, no worry about missed rents. You get paid every month regardless of what's going on in the property. It's pouring rain out. There's a storm. There's a tornado coming. There's a hurricane. There's a sandstorm coming in. Who cares? You're not responsible for the property. Somebody else is. You just get paid, okay? If you would like to learn more about selling your rental property, especially about how you can sell your rental property and still make money from it, give us a call over here at Academy Home Buyers, okay? 757-755-5587, or you can complete the form at the bottom of this video. Go to the website, academyhomebuyers.com, whatever works for you. You put your information in the form and we'll call you right back. You can sell your home, your rental property, and make money from it for years and not be responsible for anything. All right, until next time, have a great day.